Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another reaction video. Today we are going to be starting Season 3 of The Wheel of Time. Alright, so if you guys have followed the channel for a while, I am a book reader. I have read all of the books in the Wheel of Time series. I did do reactions to Season 1, and then when Season 2 came out, I just had a lot of stuff going on. I wasn't able to do reactions at that time, unfortunately. But I did watch it, and like many people, I felt that Season 2 was an improvement on Season 1, although I feel like I didn't dislike Season 1 as much as some people did. But I did feel that Season 2, in a lot of ways, was an improvement, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to get into Season 3 here. I've been hearing some very good things while I've been waiting impatiently to finally start this. So far there are 3 episodes. I think the 4th one will actually be out by the time I finish recording the reactions to the 3, so I'll get to do a little bit of a mini binge, which is always fun. So, the first episode is entitled To Race the Shadow. Now, I have been seeing a lot of positive comments about Wheel of Time on Twitter from people who had never seen or known anything about the series until just a few weeks ago when there was some promotional material for this season. So it seems like it's getting a little bit of momentum that it didn't have previously, which is really fun. And they all seem to be really into this season so far, so I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here. Okay, so just before we get started, I do have a Patreon if you guys are interested in getting early access to reaction videos or to get my full-length reactions. Do check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. And other than that, let's just get going. I've got my snacks and my drinks, and I'm all ready to have a good time watching Wheel of Time with you guys. All right, Episode 1. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, they, had quite the...
It's time, Mother.
Quite the interaction at the end of last season. Which I'm sure is weighing heavily on them both.
The Eminence requested a sitting of the hall. She's called you to the floor.
I have a few matters I'd like to raise before the hall myself.
Uh-oh.
Please stand with you, sister, no matter the charges.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Where are we going? And why?
Always plan for the worst, my sisters.
Varen.
Your surprises will be pleasant ones.
Every sitter has the right to speak in the hall.
Only 11 sitters are required by tradition. Leandra and Sadai will speak for the rest today, but you will not hear her.
You get no support. I feel like this may backfire a bit. I mean, I get the idea behind it, but
She comes, the Watcher of the Seals, the Flame of Tarvalon, the Amelin Seat,
who proclaimed himself Dragon Reborn in Falm. Mother met him. The man, this tower is duty-bound to cage and control. Mother willingly let him escape.
well, I mean, that last part is not really.
If you
I mean,
are
she-
proof that these accusations
Most of it was true,
the
but
hall
that
would have
last
no
part.
choice but to restrict my authority, decree a penance, or even depose me. But I know what most women in this hall do not. That you, Leandra and Garale, can break the 3 oaths. You have sworn yourself to the shadow. You are a dark friend. You dare use the power against your sisters in this hall. You have betrayed us all, and now you will be tried still and give us every member of the Black Archer before you.
Join me!
Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, there's the problem. Oh! Nynaeve, please! Oh god.
I can't protect these alone. There are few we can trust here.
Out of our way. Move!
Thank the light. Jane, Chesmo, help us get inside.
No! There, Black Aja. Chesmo.
Link with me.
Oh.
You will not leave the city alive.
Oh my god. Why do they look so badass? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, bro. I have a bad feeling. Oh! Oh no! Ah! Oh no. No.
I can't feel it.
Screw what the engine wants. We'll have to finish her. How did she? She didn't. She's still shielded.
Maureen? Yep. Oh my god! First of all, Ivan died. I don't want to say things like this too many times, but he's not supposed to die in the book, so I suppose his character's being changed up, but
Elaine.
that shocked me.
So what if we don't have the ring? These ridiculous towers.
Oh, Egwene looks good. Oh,
We were
I mean,
running from the Forsaken,
Rand in that room.
and now the Black Archer. Who knows how many of them?
So,
After a hearty breakfast.
Oh yeah, I'd love to chat about that, but I have been cooped up on a boat for a month, and there is not a bloody chance I'm staying in. Red? Perrin? You coming? Come on, one last hurrah! What do you think my chance?
Matt, I love you, even though you're... Oh my god.
Alright, I know this, given that you've got your dragon head up your dragon ass, but I blew the horn of Valir.
Maybe you shouldn't be screaming that. Matt, maybe you shouldn't be screaming that in public.
Horn blower, hero of the
And holding the... Oh my god. Maureen would be so mad right now.
Here we are. Yeah, I mean, what's there to talk about? He's never even kissed another girl, so why bother pretending what's written in the pattern?
Is he gonna tell them?
Hang on, what's this? What is this?
Oh my god, is he gonna tell them? It's not really a girl.
Not Avienda. No, the only people who she smiles at are...
He's like,
Elaine.
so, it was a land fair.
Well, it could be. So, who else? Bane, Chian, Bane and GR. Good luck. I've been working on that for a week.
You're going to get yourself speared, you know that?
Like, I really hope so. A toast.
He told me you've been coming to him since farm, in his dreams. That you're pushing him for the same thing I am. To go to Tyr, to get Calendor. I think it's part of the reason he doesn't want to.
No, the reason he doesn't want to are these friends of his. They tie him to the boy he used to be, not the man he must become. And much like I know the other chosen, you know these kids. You know what will make them hurt, what will make them leave him behind.
You think I will hurt them? To get him to do what we want?
Yes. To be honest, it's the only thing I like about you.
We cannot trust her.
Of course not.
Of
But I think we can trust that she doesn't want the others to find Rand.
Well, for now, maybe.
For now,
Kill
yes.
one of the Forsaken and fall.
Because she's a bit
She's
obsessed.
smart enough to worry he'll do the same to her someday.
She's a bit obsessed.
And as for the other 6, she is more afraid of them than she ever was of Shamael.
I have a sneaking suspicion she's not well liked.
She betrayed.
She's right. Egwene, we're not strong enough. Not yet. Not against the Forsaken or the Black Usher. I'll go back to your tower on one condition. I go through the arches. Today.
Alrighty, Egwene. I assume Elaine is going to want to follow suit. Woo! Is this her as Amberlin? Oh, it is. Look at look at that. Oh, oh.
He killed Perrin and Matt. I saw it.
Run!
With the jacket. I wonder if they'll actually have her in that dress later, like, cause some of this, the jacket, you know.
The ambulance seat. You're just in time to do the thing you should have done a long, long time ago. Bow to me!
Now, we were actually just about to start a new game.
Do you want to play an AL game? It's called Maidens Kiss.
Yes, yes, that sounds like a game that
Quill and notebook.
What do you do?
Now we kiss. If it's good, the spears move back. If it's bad,
Oh,
you can play too.
they're like, no, thank you.
Avienda.
Oh. Ahem. Excuse me? Is he back in?
Are you seeing this?
Seeing what?
Oh.
Run! Egwene, run!
Oh. Ah!
Matt, something's wrong.
Nynaeve, turn around! Ah! wake the fuck up! That's a Greyman! Mm. Oh!
Let go!
Nynaeve! Nynaeve! What happened to her? What happened? Why?
Oh. See how she was sitting there? You see how she was sitting there and like telling Lan not to go, basically?
We went a bit far. Axe,
Knew it.
mirrors, cars. I played my part brilliantly.
No one was to be harmed.
Nothing a little healing couldn't take care of.
Oh.
You wanted it to be convincing.
You almost killed Nynaeve.
I didn't touch her.
She was stabbed 11 times.
By who?
An assassin. Grey eyes, blackened fingers. He walked right through the inn without anyone seeing him.
Yeah, that's a Greyman.
Greyman. There is only one Forsaken who can create them. Get Rand out of the city now.
If the wind holds, we'll be in Tyr in a week.
We're not going to Tyr.
The Forsaken won't stop coming for you. In Tyr, with Caledon.
We're going to the last place the Forsaken or anyone else would ever think to look for me. A place to find the army I need to fight the Shadow. We're going to the Eye Waste.
Do you want to be courageous?
Oh!
I have someone I need you to find.
All right. Well, that was the end of episode 1 of season 3 of The Wheel of Time, and what an episode! Well, that was a crazy way to start off the season with the opening there, with the actual battle at the White Tower, with the members of the Black Ajah revealing themselves. It was crazy. It was very well done. But there's a lot to comment on other than just, you know, that was very enjoyable and entertaining to watch. I feel like a lot of the relationships in the series between the main characters and even some of the characters themselves, just the way they're portrayed, I feel like they're really starting to come together at this point. I feel like the camaraderie between the guys was really felt this episode. Nynaeve, as feeling like a protector of all of them, was really felt this episode. Rand becoming much more like Rand this episode. Very well done. So I'm very curious to see where this is going to go next. I'm not going to talk too much about differences with the books. Because I don't want to spoil anything necessarily for people. I'm going to try to figure out ways to talk about some of the differences without, you know, getting into too much concrete detail, I guess. But one of the big things that's obviously very different has to do with the romantic relationships. And the Egwene and Rand relationship has always been a bit different. on the show than in the books. And it continues just in the very fact that we're moving forward. They're moving into the Isle Waste with them still in a romantic relationship. And I'm really curious to see how and when this is going to change. Like, it makes sense to me. It obviously makes sense to me what they're doing here with her having the PTSD and both of them changing and that kind of causing them to drift apart. And I think if done well, this could actually be much better than the books, because the way that they kind of choose not to be together anymore in the books always seemed a bit ridiculous to me. Not very realistic in the like quick way that it just sort of switches. Yeah, so I think that this could potentially be well done, but I am curious to see what they're going to do with it. And then one other thing, this is a spoiler from the books, but I feel like this is something that just needs to be talked about. In the books, Rand ends up having romantic relationships with Avienda, Elaine, and Min, who we didn't see this episode, but you saw last season. She's the woman with the ability to see the future when she looks at people, or like some interpretation of what's coming in the future when she looks at people. And there have been people that have felt over the years that there's some subtext between Elaine and Avienda before, that there might be some romantic feelings between them, but that is never actually sort of brought to fruition. They do become very, very close. And I'm curious to see how they're gonna do this, because I never particularly was a huge fan of Rand having all these different relationships, because I don't just mean he goes from one to the other. No, he dates the three of them. He's with the three of them at the same time. And they all kind of feel like, oh, I guess we'll just accept it. And Min is the least happy about it out of all of them, but yeah. But for me, I feel like the relationships in the books, Min and Rand's relationship always made the most sense to me and felt like the most real of a relationship, and Avienda's and Elaine's seemed more for practical purposes. Of course, they aren't acting in the books as though like there isn't real feelings between both of them and Rand as well. It just seems like those relationships are a bit more contrived and pushed together. And I always did personally feel like Avienda and Elaine had a more natural, close bond than Rand had with either of them. So if they were trying to go with something like Elaine and Avienda both end up with Rand while also being romantically together, I guess that could make the whole Rand with multiple women thing seem a little bit less weird, in that it's not like all these women circling around him, but more like he has a relationship with Min, and then he also has a relationship with Avienda and Elaine together. And that serves certain purposes. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see. This is one of those things where in the books, it is shown that Aiel often have multiple wives. So this is kind of something that Avienda is always like, yeah, okay. And I guess it's kind of showed as a way to maybe justify this or make it seem less weird and awful. But yeah, the idea of Elaine and Avienda, I think, could potentially make that whole dynamic better, because to me that was one of the things in the books that I was never really the biggest fan of. I found it really interesting what they were doing here with Moraine and Lanfear. I knew when it was in that scene, they're sitting in the bedroom and Moraine is just sitting there and Land is just sitting there and Land's getting more and more upset. But yes, it makes sense that she would be responsible for certain aspects, which is designed again to tear the group apart, and not others, not the Greyman. Just makes sense with what we know, and now we see more of Moghedien. Should be some interesting stuff coming up with her. It was interesting to see a Greyman being made. Yeah, I'm very curious. I'm also curious to see, Nynaeve of course has this block on her powers. We've seen her successfully channel her powers and be extremely powerful at times, but she can't just do it at will, the way that most Aes Sedai can. She has something blocking her. And over the course of the books, it is a storyline of her trying to get past that. And I assume that's prominently going to be discussed here in the near future. I'm curious about the way that they choose to have Egwene go with Rand into the Isle Waste. Because in the book she does go, but it's set up in a much different way. It's not her just wanting to go and stay with Rand. And it's certainly not her being like, I'm leaving the White Tower. I have thoughts about what they could be doing with this. That could be good, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But alright, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up here, guys, so I can get into episode 2. So again, if you want early access or full-length reactions, do check out my Patreon. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.